Hello, good morning everyone. Today I am going to start with chapter in immunology, that is immunohematology. That is nothing but study of blood group antigens and antibodies and their interaction in health and disease. Immunohematology is nothing but the study of blood group antigens and their corresponding antibodies and how these antigens and antibodies interact with each other in health as well as in disease. That is what is called immunohematology. And then, first of all, to know what is the immunology behind the blood group antigens and all, we should know what are blood group antigens, what are these and all these things. And the discovery of blood group antigens was done by Landsteiner. Landsteiner was a scientist who received Nobel Prize in 1930 for the discovery of these blood group antigens. And based on this blood group discovery of Landsteiner, human beings are classified into different blood group individuals, right? And then coming to different antigens, blood group antigens and their corresponding antibodies. See here, blood group antigens are antigens which are present on RBC. Based on RBC, antigen present on RBC, they are grouped like A group, B group, AB group and O group individuals. A group, B group, AB group and O group individuals. And suppose if it is A group, the antigen present on A group RBC is A and the antibody present in the serum of those individuals is anti-B antibody. That means the antigens, see all these two varieties of antigens identified so far, A group, A antigen and B antigen on RBC. Some individuals will have only A group and A antigen on the RBC, some will have only B antigen, but some will have both antigens, then they are called AB group. And some individuals don't have any antigen on their RBC, that's why they are called O group individuals. And based on the antigen present only, they are grouped like this, and their serum will contain the antibody against the antigen which is not there in their RBC. That's why it is anti-B antibody. Suppose similarly, if you take B group individuals, the serum contains anti-A antibodies, and AB group if you take, AB group individuals if you take, the serum consists of no antibodies because both antigens are there in their RBC. Suppose if you take O group individuals, they have both antibodies, anti-A and anti-B antibodies because both antigens are not there on their RBC. That is regarding the antigens and antibodies in the RBC as well as in the serum of those individuals. And same thing here also you can see in the diagrammatic representation. In the diagrammatic representation, see here, RBC A group individuals means RBC is having A antigen. Plasma is having anti-B antibodies. B group if you take, the antigen is B and the antibodies are anti-A antibodies. If you take AB group, the antibodies are none because both antigens are there. If you take O group, no antigen is there, that's why both antibodies are there in their serum. Now, coming to the distribution of blood groups in the human beings, O group is the commonest blood group we see in the individuals and AB is the rarest. AB is the rarest, O is the commonest. In Britain, if you take O group is 47%, A is 42%, B is 8%, and AB is 3%. Okay, O is 45 followed by A, then B, and then least is AB group. In India, if you take O is 40%, next comes B, that is around 33%. Then comes A, that is for 22%, and wherever you go, AB is least, that is 5%. O is 40%, AB is 5%. Wherever you see, O is the commonest and AB is the least. Same thing, diagrammatic representation, graphical representation. O is highest, followed by A, then B and AB. That is of course in foreign situation. And then coming to these antibodies. What are these anti-A and anti-B? We discussed about these antibodies present in the serum. Usually antibodies are developed following antigenic stimulus, foreign antigenic stimulus. But here there is no foreign antigen in the blood groups, in the RBC. It is own antigen, but these antibodies are produced by nature itself. Without these antibodies are produced by nature itself in our body, they are of IgM variety and they are saline agglutinating antibodies. But in some situations, that is following ABO incompatible pregnancy or transfusion, that means suppose if A blood group individuals are there, if B group blood is given to them, then it is called ABO incompatibility. Then it is foreign antigens entering into the body, because B group individuals won't have A antigen. If you give A blood, that A antigen is foreign to B group individuals. That's why it is called as ABO incompatibility, or that is ABO incompatible transfusion. Then antibodies are produced, then they are called immune antibodies. They are of IgG variety and they are albumin agglutinating antibodies. Then coming to another antigen, apart from A and B antigens present on RBC, there is a special category of antigens called H antigens. These H antigens are precursor antigens before the formation of A and B antigens. Precursor antigens formation before A and B antigens. Okay, and Bendy et al. From Bombay reported the absence of AB and H antigens from red cells. They are known as Bombay group or OH blood group. See, every individual will have H antigen because it is a precursor antigen to A and B antigen. But there is a special group called Bombay group where the H antigen is also not present in their RBC. And another blood group is there, blood group that is based on antigen, A antigen or B antigen or AB antigen present on RBC. If you group the individuals, that is called ABO grouping. And there is another antigen called as RH factor. Based on RH factor, if you group the individuals, then it is called RH blood group system. Landsteiner and Wiener in 1940 identified in the red cells an antigen that reacted with rabbit antiserum to rhesus monkey erythrocytes. This is called RH factor. What is RH factor or rhesus factor? See here they identified a separate antigen, not only the AB antigen. They identified a separate antigen on the RBC and they identified it as RH factor, named it as rhesus factor. Why it is named as rhesus factor, you know? These these RBCs, they reacted with rabbit antiserum to rhesus monkey erythrocyte. See, this is rhesus monkey. Rhesus monkey is also having RBC. These RBCs, when injected into rabbit develop certain antibodies, right? And those antibodies, which are called as anti-rhesus monkey erythrocyte antibodies, in short, anti-RH antibodies. These anti-RH antibodies reacted with RBC of some individuals, and that's why they are called, those antigens present on human RBC reacted with anti-RH antibodies from rabbit developed against monkey erythrocytes, is named as RH factor. RH factor. And here the typing of persons as RH positive, or you might have heard about RH positive, RH negative. Right? When do you call a person as RH positive person or RH negative person? Depends on the presence or absence of antigen D, that is RH antigen, on red blood cells. If RBC is having RH antigen, then the person is called RH positive. If RH antigen is absent, then the person is called as RH negative. Instead of calling it as RH antigen, later it was named as antigen D. Antigen D. And then coming to other blood, apart from ABO and RH, there are certain other and blood group systems. They are called as MN group system. MN group means it consists, according to MN group system, blood groups are three varieties: M group, N group, and MN group. Later, another group also identified, that was called as S group. MN, MN, and S. That is about blood group antigens and their corresponding antibodies. One thing is A group, B group, AB group, O group. And another grouping system is RH system, that is RH positive and RH negative. What are the medical applications? Why should we know about this blood group system? That is what is called immunohematology. Why it is important? See, so many medical applications, in so many sites we use these blood group antigens and all. The first and foremost thing is blood transfusion. And here, during blood transfusion, we must be very careful while selecting a donor. The person who gives blood is called donor. The person who receives blood is called as recipient. Right? Before donating the blood, before transfusing the blood to the recipient, we should follow certain rules. That is how to choose a donor. Recipient plasma should not contain any antibody that will damage donor erythrocytes. Right? Suppose if you are giving A group blood to the individual, any individual, that person, the recipient, should not contain anti-A antibodies. Right? Recipient plasma should not contain any antibody that will damage donor erythrocytes. Right? That is first point. And then donor plasma should not contain any antibody that will damage recipient red cells, vice versa. Donor plasma should not contain any antibody that will damage recipient RBC. And the third point is donor red cells should not contain any antigen lacking in the recipient. Suppose if donor blood group is A, and if you are giving it A group blood to B group individual, means it is danger. That is this point, that because B group individual won't contain A antigen, donor group is containing A antigen, so it will become foreign. Donor RBC antigen, red blood cell antigen, will become foreign to the recipient. So transfusion reaction will occur. So all these points you have to remember while selecting a donor. And then obviously, or for all practical purposes, donor and recipient should belong to the same that is optimum ABO group. That means A group individual should receive A group blood only, B group individual should receive B blood only, AB person should receive ABO only. That is the fundamental rule. If it is not available, same blood group is not available, then what to do? O group is considered as universal donor. O group blood you can give to anybody. That's why it is called universal donor. Why? I will tell you. AB group is considered as universal recipient. What is the reason? We will discuss. And not only ABO group selection, RH group is also important. RH compatibility is important. Also important. When it is important only when the recipient is RH negative. When the recipient is RH negative, we have to think very much, because RH negative individuals should receive only RH negative blood. Why? Because if you give RH positive blood to RH negative individual, that becomes foreign and the individual will develop antibodies. See here, why the rule, what is the rule we should follow? I will explain here. It is donor, it is recipient. Donor, O group donor, why it is called, why they are called universal recipients, universal donors. O group because they don't have any antigen on their surface, so no problem. There is no foreign antigen issue. That's why you can give to anybody. And A group individuals blood can be given to AB, because here AB is having A antigen and A individuals also same blood group, no issue. And B group individuals should donate blood to AB and B, because B here is there and here also B. And lastly AB group individuals should give blood only to AB group. Other than this, if you give anybody, it will become foreign, because AB, if you are giving to B, A is there, that is foreign. And if you are giving it to A, B is there, that is foreign. If you want to give it to O, both are there. O group individuals are not having any antigen, so both antigens are foreign to those individuals. That's why O group is considered as universal donor because of absence of any antigen, and AB group is considered as universal recipient. You can give any group of blood, because A antigen is there, B antigen is there, and O means nothing, no problem. That is the explanation. And there is one group called dangerous O group. Dangerous O group. Here, anti-A antibodies. Dangerous O group means, see, as usual I told you, O group means no antigen, but it consists of anti-A and anti-B antibodies. Both are there. Both are there. But in some individuals, usually they are less in amount, but in some individuals, that is called as dangerous group, those anti-A, anti-B antibodies are very high in amount. Very high in amount. Uh, that's why you cannot give that O group blood to any other group other than O group, because of anti-A and anti-B antibodies, which are more number, because that's why it is called dangerous group. When compared to anti-A and anti-B antibodies, anti-A antibody is more powerful antibody. So A group blood is safe to AB group individuals than, see that this is another issue. A group blood is safe. See, we considered AB group as universal recipient, right? When you are receiving blood, when you are giving blood to AB group, when you are selecting A group or B group, uh, A group blood, if you select to transfuse it to AB group, it is safe when compared to B group. Why? Because A blood group individuals are having anti-B antibodies, but B group individuals are having anti-A antibodies. See, anti-A antibody is more dangerous. That's why it may cause damage to the AB group individuals. That is the. And then coming to second point we had to keep in mind while giving transfusion. First thing is selection of blood group. To know that blood grouping is required, and the second point is cross matching. Before giving blood to the donor, we have to see whether the blood is compatible with the recipient or not. To ensure that the donor blood is compatible with the recipient blood, first we should check and then we have start the transfusion. For that, two things are there. One is saline cross match. This will be done in the blood bank. Major cross match means donor RBC will be tested against recipient serum, and minor cross match means recipient RBC will be tested against donor serum. And one more is there, Coombs cross match. Coombs cross match is also there. Washed donor cells and recipient serum will be incubated in a water bath at 37 degrees centigrade for 2 hours, and direct Coombs test will be done to see the agglutination pattern. After cross matching only, when there is no adverse effect, then only that blood will be selected for blood transfusion. And another point we have to keep in mind before starting transfusion is the blood should be free from all these infections: HIV, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, hepatitis D, cytomegalovirus, syphilis and malaria, because all these are infections transmitted through bloodborne infections. We have to screen the blood for all these pathogens, and then only we have to choose that blood for transfusion. And then another application, medical application of immunohematology blood group antigens is hemolytic disease of newborn. You might have heard in physiology itself, and in antibodies everywhere it will come. What is this hemolytic disease of newborn? When Rh negative woman is having Rh positive fetus in her uterus, what happens? That is what is called hemolytic disease of newborn happens. That means there will be physiological increased accentuation, means enhancement of physiological jaundice. And what the first thing can happen. Second thing is erythroblastosis fetalis. All RBCs of the fetus will be damaged. And last thing is there may be intrauterine death due to hydrops fetalis, a fatal condition. Baby may die itself. And what is this Rh incompatibility? See here, diagrammatic representation is there. Mother is Rh negative, fetus is Rh positive. Why it comes? Because husband is Rh positive, right? And this is the condition. During delivery, see here, Rh negative mother, Rh positive father. Mother is having Rh positive baby, right? Woman becomes sensitized. That means, see, delivery over, and during delivery, some of the Rh positive cells, antigens, Rh positive RBCs may enter into the woman during delivery through the placenta, right? And the mother is now called sensitized mother. See, Rh positive RBC entered into the mother, they are foreign to the mother. So mother starts developing anti-Rh antibodies. Mother is having anti-Rh antibodies. Now when she becomes pregnant second time, and second time also the fetus is Rh positive fetus. See, the antibodies are there in the mother. Anti-Rh positive antibodies are there in the mother. They are IgG variety. They can cross the placenta very easily, and then they go to the fetus. Fetus is having Rh antigen and mother is having Rh antibodies. Both will combine with each other. The antigen antibody reaction will occur. So fetal RBC will die, will be destroyed. That is called as physiological jaundice. If it is so severe, erythroblastos, entire RBC of the fetus will be damaged, and finally there will be intrauterine death. That is what is called Rh incompatibility. And factors influencing the incidence of hemolytic disease are, see, each and every mother of Rh negative mother containing Rh positive baby won't develop IUD or erythroblastosis fetalis. It is depending on so many factors like immunological unresponsive to the Rh antigen. There are certain mothers, they won't develop any Rh antibodies even though Rh antigen enters into the mother. That is called immunological unresponsiveness. Then there is no problem. And feto-maternal ABO incompatibility. When mother and fetus is different blood group, not belonging to the same blood group, then ABO incompatibility will be more dangerous when compared to Rh incompatibility. When this is there, Rh is negligible. And third point is number of pregnancies. Nothing will happen in the first pregnancy. Problem is only with the second and third pregnancies. And the fourth factor is zygosity of the father. If the father is homozygous only, all the fetuses will be Rh positive. When the father is heterozygous, 50% of the fetus will be Rh positive and 50% of the fetus will be Rh negative, then there is no problem. Problem is only for 50%. And then how to detect these Rh antibodies in the mother? They are IgG variety, they are incomplete antibodies, so they can be detected by Coombs test, indirect Coombs test. What is Coombs test? You know, I need not tell once again. And how to know whether there is Rh incompatibility or likely to develop Rh incompatibility in the fetus. So to know that Rh typing of the mother and father should be routine in the antenatal checkup itself. If the mother is Rh negative and if the father is Rh positive, we have to be very careful. And then if it is second pregnancy, then the mother, when she is at 30 to 34 weeks, her blood should be checked for antibodies, Rh antibodies, that is by indirect Coombs test. Whether mother is having anti-Rh antibodies or not, we have to check at 32 to 34 weeks of her second pregnancy. And then before delivery itself, if the fetus is Rh positive, we can replace Rh positive fetal blood with Rh negative blood. Then there is no problem. And when there is hemolytic disease, that means when the RBC of the fetus are destroying very much after delivery, when there is accentuation of hemolytic, that is physiological jaundice, then you have to go for exchange transfusion. Exchange transfusion means the entire Rh negative blood of the fetus has to be exchanged with Rh negative. Rh positive blood of fetus has to be changed with Rh negative blood. That is what is called exchange transfusion. With Rh negative ABO compatible blood. That is what is called exchange transfusion. That is after Rh isoimmunization. But how to prevent Rh isoimmunization to occur at all? See, when you know that mother is Rh negative and the husband is Rh positive, we have to give anti-Rh IgG antibody at the time when the antigenic stimulation is expected to take place. That means following the first delivery immediately, then only sensitization occur, because during first delivery only baby antigens, Rh antigens will enter into the mother, right? That is the time. So immediately following first delivery, the mother should receive anti-RH antibodies. This is what is called, because they are IgG antibodies, they have a special property called suppression of homologous antibody synthesis. That's why at the same time of entry of antigen, we are giving antibody also at the same time. So mother won't develop anti-RH antibodies and there won't be any danger to the second fetus. That is what is called 100 to 300 micrograms of RH antibodies. Immune IgG antibodies will be given to RH negative woman immediately after delivery within 72 hours. Then nothing will happen. And it is ABO hemolytic disease. O group mothers bearing A or B group fetus. They are also IgG variety, and they enter into the, if the mother is O group and if the fetus is A or B group, so A or B group antibodies, mother is having naturally anti-A and anti-B antibodies, mother is having. These anti-A and antibodies will go to the fetus through the placenta because they are IgG antibodies. In the first pregnancy itself it can happen because they are natural antibodies already present in the mother. They may destroy A group or B group fetus, right? And that also you can detect by indirect Coombs test or by spherocytic tests. That is about immunohematology, and here you should know few important points regarding immunohematology. That is, first thing, there are four blood groups in the human beings according to ABO system. That is O group individual, A group, B group and AB group. O group means they won't have any blood group antigen on their RBC. A group means they are having A antigen, B means B antigen, AB means both antigens are there. That is ABO system. And RH system means presence or absence of RH antigen on the RBC. If RH antigen is there, then it is RH positive. If RH antigen is absent, it is RH negative. So we have to be very, very careful during blood transfusion and also during pregnancy. That is what is called RH incompatibility pregnancy, because there we may lose the fetus. That's all about uh, immunohematology. So it is important for your practical purposes. Read thoroughly throughout your career. You may need to transfuse blood. Before transfusing blood, you have to keep all these points in your mind, and then only we have to choose the appropriate blood group. Right? Thank you.